Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Jay and Nichole's Learning Lab podcast. Today, we have a returning visitor from Fun Class, the CEO, Yan Wang, and we're also lucky enough to get her CTO, Viana, and I can't remember your last name, Viana Culversberg. She's also a co-founder and the CTO of Fun Class. She focuses on the tech strategy. And Yan, of course, was the innovator. What do you got, Nichole?
Well, I'm just excited to have Yan back. I mean, she was definitely one of our highlights in season one. We did that on our season one recap, and so I was really excited. Which was funny is I think she was just as excited to come back as we were to have her back. So this was very
Yay.
interesting, and we have actually not me. Jay has been, which you are well aware of, has been extensively testing out your product, and I have to say, I'm very excited to hear and see not only from your CTO but from you where you're going, what the roadmap is, what you've improved since we last heard from you, because I know that the product was having a bit of a glitch for a while, and now it's running really smoothly, and Jay cannot stop raving about it, and I think teachers are going to really enjoy this. I'm not going to lie to you. After this podcast, this Fun Class and another product they're in odds with me right now because it's actually part of a premium service I will be offering. Ooh. So yeah, because when you do special courses with me, I do a premium service, and so I'm very interested to see where you're going, how you're helping teachers, and why you took this road. So let's just get started, get right into it, because I have lots of questions.
Amazing.
So let's start with Yan. I think we're going to start with Yan about, why you're so excited to come back and what has caused that excitement for you.
Yeah. So hello, everyone, again. Welcome back to our podcast. So as some of you might already know, my name's Yan. Yeah, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Fun Class, and also a fellow tutor for 9 years, tutoring Chinese students specifically. And if you still remember my story of creating Fun Class, it's mainly because of my frustration as an online tutor who was using Zoom. Well, ironically, we're now using Zoom.
Right.
But it's not a lesson. Okay, so it's different. So yeah, I was quite frustrated with the disengagement of students when using Zoom, because not built for learning, not many interactive tools for me to keep the students' attention and engagement. So that's where I came up with the idea of using gamification. Right now, it's a pet development game, Tamagotchi, for students to raise a digital pet by having the online classes with the tutors. So yeah, I'm very excited to come back again to share with you a lot of new updates about Fun Class and also the roadmap where we're heading to in the future.
Very cool. Very cool.
Now, Viana, can you talk a little bit about how difficult it was to create a user-friendly design for both the teachers and the students? How did that happen? Well, wait a minute. How did you guys meet? Actually, first, how did you two meet?
I'm sorry.
I'm sure. I can go ahead. Yeah, I guess Yan had a really important mission and problem to solve, and I was looking exactly for that. So I was specifically looking where I can put into my skills and technical knowledge to solve something that matters and also matters to me. And we met on like a co-founder matching platform. So basically, we were both looking for the counterpart of each other, and yeah, that's how we met. And I think we very quickly noticed that we're working together very well. And yeah, ever since, I think it was 1.5 years ago we started, and ever since we have been working together on Fun Class.
Wow. All right. And now, and this is for either or both. Yeah, talk to me a little bit about what went into creating the UI so that it was helpful and useful and visually pleasing for both the students and the teachers. What went into that?
Without making it so technologically difficult for anybody to use.
So at Fun Class, we know a lot of user will be children, right? Because that is our target. We want to provide a much better experience for the younger learners. So the first thing when it comes to UI is to make it super user-friendly. So let's say a 4-year-old child can actually log in the class independently. So that's why we have all of these kind of student-centric idea when we put into the design to make it very user-friendly, very easy to navigate around for both the students and the tutors. Yeah, so that's like the first consideration, right? The users in our mind, the age, the ability, the technical, like how literate they are technically. So that's the first thing. And secondly, since I'm an online tutor myself, I have a lot of ideas about the tools I would need to best engage my students when it comes to online tutoring. So yeah, I kind of both start with my own experience as an online tutor and also from the student's perspective, what kind of interface would be most friendly to them. Yeah, so these are kind of the two biggest factors I considered when I designed the UI fan class. And of course, Viana also as a technical co-founder, she has a lot of suggestions and feedback from the technical side. Yeah, how can we make it more user-friendly?
Okay. And Viana, how much how much do you do any of the coding, or do you have minions to do that?
Yeah, definitely in the beginning, I was the only one who, was coding everything from scratch. I mean, it also really helps if you're using some open source software that's already out there, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel for everything. But it's me who is putting everything together. And by now, as we have been progressing a bit, we are also having a team of some students, some freelancers who are working with us, which I'm like managing on smaller projects.
Sure. Okay, cool. And now, I don't know who should answer this, but how difficult was it to translate what the students and the teachers needed to a technical person? Because sometimes there's not when I say a language barrier, I mean technical language to normal language. Was there any issues with that? Any challenges on
Yeah, I
either
can go
side?
first, and then Viana
Yeah.
can talk about her experience.
Mhm.
So, what we would usually do is to start with like a documentation, what
Mhm.
kind of features it needs to include, right? What kind of requirements it has,
Mhm.
and then I would try to make it visual, as visual as possible for the developers to understand the interface, the different flows, and what really I think is useful in this translation, right, between idea and the technical implementation is like a user flow. You know, for each part, each step, which one should go to the next step. Yeah, so I think that's how we make it. I would say to try my best to make it seamless between the user, my idea, the user requests, and to the actual technical implementation. Yeah, I don't know whether
Right.
Viana has something else to add from her perspective.
Yeah, I think there are 3 points. So the first points you have mentioned, like you have an idea, which is basically the hypothesis of something. Then comes like, okay, does the developer understand this? Can they implement it? But then also kind of the confirmation of our first idea. Okay, do the users understand what we wanted to do? Do they understand this feature? And this is
Right.
what we're also very closely like monitoring or like confirming. Does that make sense? Do you
Yep.
understand it? And also, is it used? So you have the kind of full cycle of
It's,
this. Yeah.
Or does it
you
is
want
is
to,
it is it able to be used in the way we originally thought it would be? Because sometimes what
Yeah.
we think something can work is not exactly how it
Mhm.
comes out.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
now, well, that's cool. All right. And what do you got, Nichole? What do
No,
you
these
got
were
on
good questions. You're asking the same questions I was going to ask.
that? Sorry.
What I want to know is so we all know that AI is very prevalent right now. So how is this trend, how is this being implemented or added into your roadmap at this time?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. I would love to talk about in the podcast as well. So we have been considering integrating AI for a long time because, as you said, it's kind of the trend of the industry, right? A lot of
Mhm.
ad tech products already incorporating AI. So does Fun Class in the future. So actually, as a virtual classroom, we have a lot of data to collect from the lessons. For example, the students' performance, what has been covered in the lesson, the students' area for improvement, all of these things can be captured by AI. And the product currently already has the ability to monitor like the transcript of the lesson. And then we just need to pull the data and then translate into, for example, lesson feedback. Right. So right now, as far as
Mhm.
I know, a lot of tutors are writing the feedback manually by themselves. But one of the, I see Nichole is now nodding her head. I have to write so much student feedback as well. And that's something AI can actually step in and then take a lot of burden from the tutor, right? So instead of the tutor writing everything by themselves, the AI can already draft something for them to edit. And then it can include what is covered in the lesson, what a student performance is, what's just the area for improvement. It can all be summarized by AI. And then maybe the teacher can add a little bit edit and that's sent to the parent. So that's one thing we are going to implement in the near future. And secondly, when it comes to personalization of the student's learning experience, what we can do with AI is actually to suggest the practice they can do outside of the classroom. Right. So right now, as the teacher, probably again, you need to manually assign the homework. But again, AI can make it very personalized for every child because in one classroom, if it's a group, especially, not every child has the same progress. So some children might need more practice where others need less, right? So again, the AI can suggest based on the lesson performance, what kind of practice each child can do after the lesson. Yeah, so that's another area we're
Okay.
considering to leverage AI's power.
Okay, follow up. So, because I do homework, it's an upgrade for my my services. So it's an upgrade in my packages. So, the way I'm looking at this from my perspective, see, I spend a lot of time like correcting homework, giving the feedback, and then,
Mm.
figuring out how to integrate that into my lesson, right? But if I had an AI taking not only extrapolating from the lesson to help me with feedback, but also assigning the homework and then correcting it, all I would have to do is look at the correction to know what I need to implement in the class. Is this what you're talking about?
Exactly.
Oh
So
boy.
that's how we would make teachers' life so easy, so easy. You
Because
focus on teaching.
I'm just telling you right now that extra dollar an hour, a dollar a class, upgrade is like not really covering the time commitment for this. But that's industry standard, right? For that 30-minute time slot. So it's $2 an hour, sometimes three.
Absolutely.
And I'm sitting here going, the amount of time that you have to spend curating and then thinking about, okay, this is what we did, this is what the homework's needed to do. At a certain point, you kind of know what it is at this point. But then
Yeah,
getting it back and feedback, if I could have AI, really synced into what I'm doing, assigning it, AI can correct it. To be honest, all I'd have to do is look at the correction and then just implement that into the next class.
exactly.
That's a
Exactly.
huge boon. When will that be coming out?
Maybe Viana can
Sorry,
answer that question.
Viana.
Vienna.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's really like burning in my fingers to start doing all of it because it just makes so much sense and it's actually also very fun to develop. It's not only fun to use, but
Right.
also like
It's
for the
a
development
shiny new
side, it's
toy.
It
yeah,
is a
Shiny
very
new
exactly.
toy.
unique. That would be very unique. I don't have as much IT experience as you guys do, but I do have some. I was a system administrator for a while, so I mean I understand this. It's a very unique project that you wouldn't normally spend time on, right? So that's how difficult is that? What people don't realize is the difficulty. So I want to take a second and recognize the IT side. So people don't realize that taking that design feature and trying to figure out how to wrap code around an idea is not exactly the easiest task in the world, and then have it actually come out correctly. So how difficult is this task in reality? I mean, what we want and the reality of where we're at right now technologically, I mean, how difficult is that task?
I think if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have told you like it's incredibly difficult. But fortunately, with all of the recent advancements, with all of the AI models and also how readily available they are, it has definitely gotten easier. For sure, it's like not easy and simple, but it's yeah, the all of the technological advancements have really helped into making it possible. And I think also one very important thing is to making sure that it's giving the right output, that like teachers and users can really be sure of what they're getting makes sense and they can rely on it. I think that's the probably most challenging part of implementing this. And besides all of our like things that we have planned, it's I would say something in the midterm we plan, since like we have some like features that are especially helping with the online live teaching that we are prioritizing a bit. And yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, Jay doesn't do as much homework as I do. It's actually a really heavy part of what I offer. So I'm sure Yan is sitting here going, I wish I had this available to me when I was teaching as well. Right? Could you imagine? I mean, really? I mean, sorry, my mind's going.
I'm still tutoring, by the way, Nichole. So I'm still facing the challenge. Yeah. Like rating the student feedback, giving manual homework rating, whatever. So myself, I'm super looking forward to that AI feature to come out.
Right? You just sit there and go, oh, when's that available? Can I beta test?
Definitely. I will be the guinea pig.
I would love to be the guinea pig for that.
I've been playing around with LLMs on my computer itself, trying to develop something we have an OET project going on, Nichole and I. It's another type of English test for doctors and nurses. And I've been playing around with an LLM on my computer for that. I'm not so good at it yet. Viana's laughing at me. She's going, you amateur. It's amateur hour in the podcast.
I bet the learning curve is very steep. I think in the beginning it's like, what and how am I doing? But I think once
what am I doing? What am I even doing here? Okay.
I think a lot of tech is like that, to be honest.
Now, I would love to hear, I think we're taking a left turn here from the outline, but that's okay. I would like to hear what's new. What's new with Fun Class? What's coming?
Yeah, okay. So with that, I'd love to share my screen, if that's possible. All right. So
$200.
I should have thought of that before I gave permission.
All right. So what is new since we last chatted? First of all, we have released a very, very commonly requested code browser feature. Since last time we talked, it wasn't ready, but now, yes. And we have actually
a lot about the co-browser.
Exactly. We have made it very stable at the moment for any students all around the world, including China. And currently, what Viana is working on is the annotation tool on the co-browser. Yeah, especially for tutors who are using web-based curriculum, that will be a huge help for them to directly annotate on the code browser. So that is currently in development. All right. And in the past few months, we actually dedicated a lot of time, effort to building an admin product for the academy owners, like tutoring centers, rather than an independent tutor. So some of the key tools, I'm going to show you. Here is one of the tutor and management system. So they no longer need to keep the spreadsheets. So that's kind of one of the biggest headaches of academies who wants to scale, but they're wasting so much time on the spreadsheets, right? So I'm going to show you a little bit about that new update. So this is our brand new academy product for online academy with a team of tutor. So for each student, they can track the lesson progress and also like the attendance, absence, how much payment they've paid, the progress of every single course they have enrolled, and the student parents info. So that means it can totally replace their manual spreadsheets. And for the teacher list, again, it automatically tracks how many lessons are taught and how much the teacher should be paid by the end of the month. So I know a lot of online academy, they're manually recording that, right? At the end of months, how much they need to pay every tutor and double check whether they actually deliver the lessons, etc. But now with Fun Class, they no longer need to do that. So that's how we can save actually a lot of time for the admin.
Is this ready to go now? Is this ready to go?
It is already live. Yes, we already released it. We have released it this month, actually. And also they can track all of the tutors' calendar for their availability to book new lessons, the course details they're teaching, the teacher's info, payroll, everything can be kept on the platform. And also we make it very easy to create the courses and track lesson history. So one of the challenges for online academy is they can't have a full overview about the lessons delivered by different teachers. So they have no idea whether there's a problem with the lessons, how did it go exactly, whatever. So with Fun Class Academy product, that is totally transparent to the academy owner. They can track the lesson analytics for every single finished lesson, including every participant's online time, talk time, webcam time, messages, etc. They can view the students' feedback. What do students think about the lessons? Because sometimes they have to constantly message the parents, hey, do you have any feedback? What do you think about the lessons? How is it going, etc. But now Fun Class can save that for you. Okay, the students can directly give the academy feedback about their experience, and the teachers can directly send the feedback on Fun Class as well. There's no need to pass that on to the parent. So it's like direct communication between the tutor and the admin. And the parent, and also the recording. They can access every single recording of their academy delivered by different tutors.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Activity score, is that still being developed? Is that still something that's not really a finished product yet?
It is already live. So for the academy's activity score, it tracks different activity the student does. For example, how much talk time they have. That is like a very huge metrics when it comes to activity score, right? Whether they're active, whether they're speaking a lot during the lessons, and also the messages, especially when it comes to group lessons, whether the students are interacting using messages, the emojis, hand raise, etc. All of these metrics contribute to activity score.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically it tracks all of the different interactions the student does.
On the academy side, can you collect payments now on the academy
That's
side?
a great question. I think Viana can tell you more about that.
Yeah, that's what we're actively working on, and we're planning to release in the next 1 to 2 months, that we can also handle everything payment wise, whether it be students paying the academy, but also teacher payroll.
Okay.
Does that include accepting payments from China?
Exactly. And
I mean,
also
I use Stripe, so I can do WeChat, but I know a lot of people can't.
Exactly, especially like some tutors in South Africa, in Poland, they can set up a Stripe account, but Fun Class is gonna make it accessible for everyone, okay, all around the world without the country limit.
Follow up on that.
Cool.
So not just accepting, but payroll. You mentioned payroll. Does this mean it's just going to tell? Because I have teachers on my staff. So is this just telling me what I need to pay, or can I actually initiate payroll from that?
The second one, you can actually initiate a payment to your tutors. So that's how we really make everything in one place for online academies and also independent tutors. So this payment feature will be rolled out to our independent tutor accounts as well. So Jay, as an independent tutor, you can actually direct to collect payment on Fun Class as well in the future. Yeah. So exactly. So this kind of feature will be released to both academies and independent tutors. So if you're using Fun Class right now, just keep an eye on this new update.
No, this is important because I find a few of my South African teachers, it's becoming increasingly difficult to get them payments on time. A lot of those payment avenues are becoming a little more difficult. So, yeah, that would be very helpful.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have heard a lot of academies, tutors requesting for the payment system so they don't need to juggle so much using other payment methods. Okay, so that is incoming. And then the lesson scheduling. So what is different from the current schedule is we make it reschedule and cancellation even easier than before. So as an academy owner, they can directly see the reschedule request from the parents. So I also have an academy myself. And one of the main challenges I have is that when a student wants to reschedule a lesson, we have to go to the tutor to ask their availability and then go back to the parent, hey, can you do this? If they cannot do that, go back to the tutor again. So there's a lot of back and forth communication, right, between the tutor and the parents. However, with this new feature, the parents can directly select an availability slot from the tutor's calendar and then reschedule the lesson. So it saves a lot of admin time to go back and forth between the parent and the tutor. Yeah, so that is a new update on the calendar page. And next one is the teacher payroll, student payment, and invoicing. Yeah, we were talking about before. So you no longer need to use different softwares, right, to do the payment, to do the payroll, to do the invoicing. You can do it directly on FunClass in the future. Yeah, so these are some of the new updates we have. And on the gamification side, I'm very excited to announce that we are currently building a pet shop.
Yes.
So for the students to customize the pet, to buy pet accessories, to even buy new pets. So that will make it even more exciting.
They have been, I said, it's coming, guys, it's coming. I said, I'll give you Yan's email address and you can ask her.
Oh, I forgot to ask. I remember last time we talked, I'm so sorry. I believe it was you, the Google Calendar sync was not available. Is it available now?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is another thing. Once we have the admin improvement, we are going to integrate with the Google Calendar. So the teacher can actually update very easily about their availability. So I can actually give everybody a little bit peek into our pet shop, especially for the
God, let me see this.
So this is how it's gonna be like. Okay, so the students can buy a lot of accessories to decorate the pet, to personalize the pet. And also they can even change the wallpaper, the background, their homepage. So yeah, we also have a new idea to make it even more exciting. So it's gonna be like a different worlds. It can be like a fairy tale world, or maybe it can be like a space world, etc., for the students to travel to. So it would make it even more exciting for the kids. They can collect some certain items from the lessons in order to unlock a new world. Yeah, so it's gonna be like a really exciting journey for the pet to go to different spaces, different worlds, etc. And
That's
also, as I mentioned, they can buy new pets. I know some of the students, they already have quite a grown-up pet, right? So maybe they want a new, different pet to raise up from scratch. Then they can do it too in the pet shop. Yeah, so that's kind of a little glimpse into what is coming.
The currency for this, is it the points that we give them in class?
Exactly.
Or is
so it will be
currency?
No, it's not real money. We don't want to monetize from the students. So how it works is that all of the XPs, experience points that students earn from the lesson will be converted to the coins. Okay, so let's say the student earned 100 XP points from the lesson, then they can convert into 50 coins. Yes, it's kind of half of the amount the XP points they earn from the lesson, and then
do you know how much begging there's going to be in class? XP? Do you have any idea? You have no idea.
I'm so sorry.
Well, they have to behave well, right? Even better, to do more homework, to do more quizzes in the lessons. Yeah, so that's what a student needs to do in order to have all of the wonderful accessories, worlds, pets in the shop.
All right.
I'm sure your students gonna definitely be blown out about these new updates.
I would imagine so. I started moving students over a while ago, but I started
Oh,
with kind of I've got like 30 on there right now, I think, using it. Uh, I still got others to move over, but some of them I'm kind of waiting for which you mentioned last time. I'm curious, the kind of the teenage version of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I have some of my older students and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm right on that cusp where I've got about 50-50 of the youngers and the olders right now.
Mm. Yeah. So on that side, we also have developed a non-gamification student portal just as like an intermediate approach
Mhm.
before we release the teenager version because the teenager version is so exciting and a lot of things to develop, design, etc. So we can't release that so fast. So for the
Okay.
older students, what we're doing currently is to have a clean student portal without the pet development. So it just feels like more, I would say, neutral. Yeah, more neutral for
Okay.
the teenagers or adults, etc. Yeah, I
You mean,
know some
you
academies or
mean,
tutors might have the concern, hey, this looks like a bit too childish for my maybe 18-year-old student, right?
you
So what
know,
we can,
You'd be
I
no?
surprised.
thought that too, and I was surprised because I teach some like sibling combos. They take separate classes,
Right.
and I'll give them fun class for the younger one, and the older one's like, Where's mine? Why don't I get it? Can't I use fun class?"
That's hilarious.
I get that all the time, actually. And
That's
I was
great.
surprised at some of them that really wanted it. I was like, really? You want? Yes, I want the pet. I was really
That's it.
surprised.
We do
I,
have very old learners on Fun Class.
yeah,
And I know like currently the oldest learner, guess what? She is 70 years old. 70
70.
years old lady. Yeah,
Is
she's
that
learning
Jillian's?
Japanese.
Oh,
No,
it's not
I could
no.
Jillian's
see
too.
that. You know what? As soon as you said that, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, my grandmother, she's passed away, but she's from Iceland, and she would have liked that as well, though. She would have
Oh,
liked all the games and stuff. She would have been like, this is fun.
exactly. I mean, we're all kids from our bottom heart, right? Who
Right.
doesn't like to have a cute pet to raise, to feed, to see it grow? Yeah.
So I got something for Viana.
Mm.
As a longtime engineer, I know that everybody has a story. If you don't have a story, I know you're lying to me. What's the biggest technical oops that happened at Fun Class?
Oh, look at her. She's like, oh, do I get in trouble or not?
Should I be honest or I shouldn't be too honest
Hmm.
here?
So what I'm wondering is, does Yan know about it?
Yeah, I think so. I think she knows. Maybe she's also thinking, okay, what like mm, mm, I would say something that could have gotten big, but luckily we got backups, I would say. Like
Mhm.
we were releasing a new feature and then we were doing some database updates where we it was luckily also very early in our product release where we kind of like accidentally deleted
Deleted.
some data and
Mhm.
they were like, oh, wait, there's something missing. But yeah, luckily, even before that happened, we had some like backups we could then, put together. And yeah, ever since we have like very frequent updates. So if it should happen, like the students' XPs are not gone. And yeah, most importantly, also the lesson records are not gone. I would say maybe like that's probably a bit of a bigger oops, but sometimes like since we have a very global user base, it's
Mm.
sometimes a bit difficult to plan, okay, when can we even update, like when can we even release some of the
Right. You're
updates?
worldwide now by now, I would
Exactly.
imagine.
So it's
When
like
is the time
ha
that you can shut down for like even an hour to load stuff, right?
yeah,
Exactly.
even sometimes like 10 minutes. I'm like,
Mm.
oh, um it's always somewhere 9 o'clock. And yeah, I think
Nine
sometimes we
o'clock
might
where?
have yeah, yeah.
9 o'clock
Uh,
where? In Germany or China or the US?
Yeah,
you've got people everywhere.
exactly. So probably it has happened that we did an update and someone was using it, but I think like if that happened, it was hopefully just a minor hiccup.
Blip.
Well, most teachers have Zoom as a backup or Tencent as a backup. I know I do. I
Yeah.
know I do. Well, cool. I will tell you, do you want to hear my biggest technical mistake when I worked in IT?
Sure.
Okay. This was back a long time ago, like 2005, maybe. I was the uh, Microsoft Exchange architect for the US military in Iraq. I took down two Exchange servers, email servers at the same time, and these were on the classified network that the commanding general was on. Oh my gosh, it took me 48 hours to get them back up. I
Oh,
didn't get fired.
Oh my
I
goodness.
I don't know
didn't get
how.
fired somehow. I didn't get fired, but yeah, that happened to me. It took me 48 hours to bring them back online.
I think it's
Lesson
definitely
learned.
more serious than ours.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
I
when
don't
I
know, man. You know, it it's as serious as the loudest person screaming at you.
yeah.
If you have a very vocal student or parent, they're going to let you hear it. They're going to let you hear it. Of course, the general staff will let you hear it too.
Yeah, when I did the system admin a long time ago, I did what she did, and stuff got deleted, and I learned almost the hard way. I got very lucky where it was an automated backup, but it wasn't done often enough, and I had gotten
Yeah.
very lucky that right when I had deleted, that had just backed up, like literally like moments beforehand. Otherwise, I would have had to wait another 24 hours, and I was like,
Wow.
oh, we need to do that more often. Because I literally had a freak out moment.
Yeah. You
Absolutely.
only learn from these kind of mistakes most
Oh
often.
yeah,
I was like,
I will tell
wow.
you. Yeah, absolutely.
It was
Okay,
eye-opening. Yeah. Oh, wow.
so we are moving right along here.
What I'm
Um,
thinking is it sounds like I was gonna say it sounds like we might have to have Yan back in season 3.
oh yeah,
We might have to
you're a
do it.
I'm
regular
more than
now.
happy, more than
We're gonna have
You're a
happy to come
regular
back.
now.
we're gonna have to do a teen talk because if you look on my services, I have one that's called tweens. So I'm definitely interested in that because yeah, I'm definitely gonna yeah, that's something I think we're gonna have you back for because I think we'd like to see how it's progressing for the different age groups. Because
Yeah,
I think
Absolutely.
yeah.
I do
But
too.
my other question though was how do you guys really balance? I mean, I know that it's fun class. I mean, obviously it's supposed to be fun, right? Okay. But I mean, like, kind of the name, right? But how do you kind of balance it between being not overly fun to the point of where we're forgetting why we're here?
Mm,
How
mm.
do you guys meet that balance?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for Jay, you're a super user of Fun Class. You will see that all of the like tools in the lessons actually all oriented around teaching, right?
Yeah.
I know there is another platform, Koala Go. Yeah, they have the playground, which is very
Mhm.
cool. But when it comes to actual learning, I feel like the impact is very limited because sometimes the lesson might just be 30 minutes long, right? You might waste, I don't know, 10 minutes in the playground and doesn't have a lot of significance to the students' learning. So
Mhm.
it's not the same with Fun Class. The
Right.
most significant tool we have in the lesson is the reward. And that's a very quick thing for the students just
Mhm.
to choose a reward and then have that exciting moment, right?
Right.
And then all the fun thing like the pet game, the pet development, pet shop in the future, in very near future, and feed pet, all of these fun things, it happens outside the classroom after the student finished the lesson. So that serves like reward for the student, right? More
Gotcha.
motivation, more incentivize them to come back again. So, but in the
Mhm.
lesson itself, we focus on learning. Yeah, we focus on the teaching itself rather than distracting the students using like all of the I don't know,
Mhm.
decorations, whatever. Yeah. And then the
So
fun thing happens also in the classroom.
So what you're saying is you're more focused on the immediate short reward without interrupting the flow of the class or the direction.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And
You know,
also, since we have the code browser, which makes it super interactive with the students as well. I know Jay use a lot of interactive web-based curriculum, right? So in that process, it can also unlock a lot of online games, but it's all educational games, right? So it's not like
right,
games purely for entertainment.
right.
I have a
I
technical.
tested out, I tested out a while ago because the playground was intriguing for me,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
the amount of effort it goes into creating a
Mm,
playground that's useful in a class, it's just too much for me. It's just, I don't have
yeah,
the time for that. I don't have the
yeah.
time for that. But yeah, I do like that. I'm interested in how the students are going to freak out over the pet shop. And because I have some boys that got unicorns and they're not very happy with that.
I'm sorry.
Well, we,
They're
we do
not
have
very
the little
happy.
tag when the student choose the pet. So they
Uh-huh.
have some clue about what is coming in their egg. Okay.
Right.
So
I know what they're getting. I know what they're getting, but I don't say anything until they get it.
That's hilarious.
Boys, I just telling you, they're not happy with the unicorns.
well, they can buy new pets in the
There you
pet
go.
shop
Yes, yes,
soon.
yes.
Right?
I told them that's coming. I told them that's
I
coming.
hope that poor little unicorn won't die for hunger.
Well, there you go, right?
Yeah, when
Personally,
they
I'm also excited about the collectibles that depending on which world you are currently in, that
uh-huh.
the worlds can also contain kind of unique collectibles they can collect.
Oh,
Oh, specific to the world. Oh, that's cool.
That's
yeah,
actually
that
Yeah.
is.
Vienna's idea, since
That's
she was a
cool.
gamer. She was a
Yeah,
Will
I
they
gamer
was
be
gonna
when
able to
she
say
was a
it
trade them?
reminds me.
teenager.
That reminds me
Will
of
they be able
Zelda.
to trade them with other students?
That's a good idea. Not yet.
Okay.
Group trades.
It's currently right now they're sometimes getting food.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
And we replaced that since the students can or will be able to buy food in the pet shop. But on more rarer occasions, they can yeah, collect these kind of collectibles for each world, which they also need to collect in order to move to other worlds, basically.
Okay.
Oh, also make it a task where it's you would have to be able to do something to collect
Yeah.
it to get to the
It's
next.
kind
Yeah.
of a mission. It's kind of a mission they need
Yeah,
to
that's pretty
complete
cool.
in order to transport to another world for the pet.
No, that's pretty cool. I like that. I have a question about the browser though. Now, I know that a lot of people use this code browser. Now, I'll be honest, it took me a while to wrap my brain around the difference between screen share and code browser. I'm not gonna lie about that. That took me a while. I don't know why, but it did. Um,
Hello,
but I
Nicole.
know, right?
Hello.
I felt so stupid too when I figured it out. I was like, oh. But I guess the reason why for me, I don't use web-based materials. I use teacher tools.
Mhm,
A lot of the bigger programs have those built-in all-in-one teacher tools that has
mhm.
everything integrated into it. So it's not web-based. It's something that's direct program installed
You
onto
have an
my,
application on your computer
yeah,
that will load the material.
it's
Mm.
Uh,
all in one. So for me, I would need a co-browser that wasn't directly dependent on the web based. It would be able to actually touch what's going because I have my materials are interactive where they could actually answer the questions and move some of the tiles around and stuff on my web on my materials, and it's not able to do that. Is that something that could be done in the future? Yeah, look at Vivian sitting there going, "What, Viana?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vienna is now thinking.
You see what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I get I could say I don't want to list the materials that I have on art this right now. I can tell you what they are afterwards if you want to know specifically, and I can maybe show you what I have. Um,
Mhm.
but I have an entire, it's something that I offer. It's an entire wide range of curriculum that's all based like that.
In an app, not inside any kind of web browser, but inside another software, for example.
right.
It's literally a software I download and install off of my
Mm.
M.2.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this would require us to have a desktop app too. So this desktop app can actually access other or basically almost everything on the user's desktop as well. So this would be like the prerequisite. And I think this is like a very big task
Yeah, it is.
that we see long term, definitely. Like we have this whole alternative of an app planned, but as this is like so big, I would see it
Well,
long term.
you have to plan for such a wide variety of hardware.
Well,
There's a
yeah.
million different types of Windows machines. Apple's a little easier. But you have to plan for all these
I
different,
beg
and
to
it's just so
differ.
much.
I'm such an anti-Apple. I'm sorry.
But building it in a web browser is so
Yeah,
much easier because
it
you
is.
only have to work around the Chrome capabilities or Safari
I'm
capabilities.
very aware that it is very difficult, but I have like 3 terabytes of curated materials. So I would not spend the time or money to get web-based when I have 3 terabytes sitting on a cloud drive of curated materials. So this is why I'm asking that, because a lot of teachers are like me where we have the others, and I know we're gonna.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a difficult task. I'm just curious if it's something that could be possible maybe down the line.
I think Viana said everything is possible with tech.
At a certain point, right?
Everything's possible
Yeah,
with money.
It's just a question when.
Very good. Well, you guys, you know what? This has been extremely informative. I am really glad you both came back on. We are definitely going to have you come back because I think that you guys have some really great innovations coming down the line, especially with this roadmap you've got going on, and you're moving up to the teen level. Although we did discuss the fact that some of the other people still like it, like me. But but I think you guys are really on the right track here by making sure that we're not losing the focus on the student itself by distracting them too much, because that was actually one of my concerns, was to take them away.
Yeah.
So I love that you're bringing in the modern technology while also keeping it user friendly and innovative while still developing. So we are definitely 100% going to need to have you guys come back, both of you, really. The excitement you guys have, we are just loving it. And thank you so much for coming on. I really, really, really appreciate it. Do you guys have any one last plug you want to put in to let our audience know anything before we go?
Yeah, just if anyone now who is interested in Fun Class and who hasn't tried yet, feel free just to go to the Fun Class website, and maybe you can also link
below.
Link down below to give it a try. It's a free trial. You won't lose anything.
Right. And I want to say kudos to both of you because we kept a list of what you said you were going to be working on. And we wanted to know, is Yan really doing it? And you are coming through. You're doing what you said you were going to do.
I have to say that's really a big deal, by the way. You really are delivering on what you say. And when you guys aren't sure, you've been very transparent about that as well. So, it's quite a breath of fresh air.
Well, I'm personally very excited to come back again with new updates, probably in a few months later, with all of the shiny patch shop, payment systems, and maybe AI down the line. Yeah, very happy to come back again.
The homework. We're all waiting on the homework. Pins and needles.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. So I just want to say to our audience, if you like it, right here check that link out. You're really going to want to get into it. And don't forget to come back to our podcast next week. It's one of our hard-hitting, really deep topics. We're going to be really diving into our conversation about racism in the teaching industry. So it's a very thought-provoking teacher panel that we're getting together. So definitely tune in next week. Thank you, Yan. Thank you, Viana.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See you next one.
Bye-bye.